Hi, YouTube, and welcome. This is Sandra, aka Simply Love, your girl, coming in here with another video. And this is for you lovers out there for the month of August 2016. We want to see what the angel guides have in store for you coming up in August. You know, we are in retrograde as well. So don't be surprised if you hear on almost all the videos about somebody coming back, because it's all about past uh things, twin flames, lovers, all that kind of stuff. There's get-togethers, new beginnings, all that kind of stuff is what's happening in the retrograde. But you know, some of that stuff we have to be skeptical of, so that's why I already meditated and asked the guides to come in and give me the information that I need to give to some of you guys out there. It's a general reading, so it's not going to be for everybody, only going to reach to to some, but I'm going to try my best, because I did get these seashells when I went to Wildwood, New Jersey. I got some seashells. I was laying there just chilling, having me a nice little time, listening to the sea, listening to the water. I love to hear water. I just love it. And here go my angel guys messing with me on my little break that I was giving myself, telling me to get up and get some seashells, and I'm like, what? Get up, get some seashells? I'm just chilling. I'm laying back. Get up and get some seashells, okay? So when God's angels tell you to do something, it's best that you do it, okay? So I went out there, and all the ones on land there, on the sand, were all cracked because people, just walk up and down there. So I had to go out into the ocean and just look down and get some seashells, and I found some. All of them are whole. They're whole pieces. Some of them were black. Some white here, some are like real shiny. So I just, I said, okay. And I brought them back, washed them up and everything. I said, okay, I have to put these into my readings. I knew then what they were talking about when they told me to get the shells, because I could feel the energy. The energy is a lot stronger since I brought these shells back, and I have them here. This is for the sign of Cancer, okay? Did I say that already? This is Cancer. Okay, so I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do here. See if you can see that. Yeah, you can see that right there. Okay. Let's see. Sorry about that, y'all. I should have had it already. But anyhow, this is your spread. I already meditated, like I said, and I pulled the cards already just to save time, so it won't be a whole bunch of time shuffling. We got the Crystal Visions card that I'm going to be reading from. Okay, and we're going to do some angel answer cards. I'll tell you about that in a little bit. And then I'm going to give you some inspiration, some uplifting, positive information with the fifth agreement element cards. Okay, this is for anybody who wants to maybe get a hold of these. I suggest these are really very good. Something they're like affirmations and things like that. Okay. That will be your bonus card. So, Cancer, let's get it on. Let's get it on. Ah, baby, let's get it on. Okay. All right, let me stop acting silly. All right, you know what? I forgot to give the overall card, I think, for Taurus. So, Taurus, I'm sorry. I have to do something special for you mid-month, okay? But your overall energy for the month of August 2016 for you Cancers is the Four of Wands, which means, stability in a relationship. Everybody's on the same page, a happy home. Things are very stable where they are. Everybody's getting along. It's that living that dream world type of thing. In a relationship wise, two people are compatible, working together in harmony and in this happy home. Two people who care and love for one another. For some of you, this could be marriage. For some of you Cancers out there, okay? It could be about marriage and commitment, new commitment, the whole 9 yards. We know we talk about love relationship here. Now, the overall energy is this happy home where, two people together that this could be a marriage or just a long-term relationship, have this happy home because it's the overall energy. That means, in the previous past, this is what went down. It's happy home, but something happened here with the three of swords. Okay, this is the energy of an Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra. That's the energy. Um, And the swords deals with your mental state. So if you can see there, there's a bunch of clouds over top of him or her, depending who's watching the video. And this doesn't pertain to everybody. It's only for some, okay? If it's not pertaining to you, then you know, hey, try another video or try somebody else's, or watch your star, moon, and rising on here as well. But you see those clouds above? There was a rough something, very rough, a three-way relationship. We're gonna get a lot of, I'm telling you, we're gonna get a lot of this stuff because of the retrograde. Or there could be three people possibly in a relationship and somebody knows about it, so they're very heartbroken. You know, the threes, you know, somebody has come in this relationship, or this happy home could have had some kind of heartbreak, some kind of um issues because of somebody else breaking in on the relationship. If they're married, somebody broke in on your marriage, or your partner may have went out on you to someone else, and it caused this heartbreak right here. The three swords going through the heart. It's a heartbreak. We're speaking about relationships, so I have to keep it real. And let me hear what my guides are saying. And what comes up next is the Page of Pentacles. Pages, okay, in a normal tarot. This is a earth sign energy, Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo. It's the energy of that because it's pentacles, okay. This is somebody younger. Some of you cancers could have been involved with somebody younger with a little bit more, or a younger type uh energy within themselves. They could have been grown, but had a younger sort of, like, a maybe a little immature way of handling a relationship. um it shows them being a little passive, maybe a little flirtatious. I'm hearing from the guy, this cat here, a little flirtatious. If you're an older person and you're dealing with someone younger, you kind of can expect something down the line to go a little, because they're still have little wandering eyes. The younger ones, the younger ones, if you're older, they still have that little wandering eye. If you're involved with someone that's younger than you are. But I'm just saying, that's just one of the scenario. They could be the same age. They could have been someone that you really, really cared about. This could have been the one that hurt you, Cancer, a earth sign, okay, or had the earth energies. And like I said, they could be grown and have a lot of immaturity about them when it comes to relationships. And or on the other hand, it could be where you, Cancer, put these swords in this Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra sun, moon, or rising sign, stab them in the heart. You may have had somebody else on the side. It could go either way. Here's what I'm hearing. Next, we do have the Ace of Swords, okay, which means victory, okay. There's some victory here. There's some cutting through all this bullshit. Somebody found out something here, of course. They got their heart broken, and now the cards are on the table with the Ace of Swords. This is a major arcana card, major event. See, it's like a shallow victory almost, but it is a victory. And it does represent, again, there's some heavy air qualities. Gemini, Cancer, Aquarius. I'm sorry, Gemini, Gemini, Aquarius, and Libra, okay? It looked like, they really cut through a lot of the bull crap here, and and came to the conclusion they won. You know what I mean? Either you or the mate that was hurt, they end up winning, because there's roses down here and there's butterflies flying around. It's like whatever was going on up here, or what you couldn't see behind the clouds, you've cut through that shit and came to discover what you needed to discover, and you came up on top of that discovery, which was another relationship. Because here we go with the Two of Cups, two people in a relationship. This could be, like I said, a marriage. It could be in a long-term relationship, or it could be even people that are single may have entered in a relationship maybe and wasn't really ready for it, is what I'm hearing. Wasn't ready for it, still carrying some energies with them, because they were acting a little immature, and they might not, they may have been of age. Some of you cancers may have been of age, okay, but there's still some immaturity because of this heartbreak or three-way affair that hurt some feelings. Some people's feelings got hurt, okay. But then somebody here cut through the bullshit and found out about this relationship here, this dual relationship, the other person, the second person, okay. This is representing its cup, so it's Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio, the energy of that, and you can see the full moon above that. And I have to read the cards the way the surrounding cards are doing, and I'm reading them intuitively, so don't be correcting me on nothing. You want to correct somebody, correct the angel guides who's giving me the messages, okay. um this is who is coming out of from the dark, that was hidden, the secret that you found out about, some of you cancers out there, or you got busted cancer with some having extra marital affairs if you're married, in a committed relationship where your partner stepped out on you, or you stepped out on your partner. You got found out here. It was cloudy at first. Somebody didn't see something at first, but then they did some investigation here, and they did their work and they found out, okay. They had to cut through a lot of shit in order to see it, because it was hidden, a hidden relationship, okay. um which was good, because of this being the overall energy of it being a happy home. But something went wrong, and we already explained that. So we're going to move on to the Emperor. This is the Emperor. Okay, and the Emperor usually represents in the tarot Aries person, okay, who is very influential. There's somebody like on top of the game, because if you can see, they're standing on top of something, and you can see the skies, and there's red and there's yellow in the picture. So what's red and yellow? Fire. So this is a representing maybe a fire, Aries, which is a fire sign, okay. um and there's some kind of, like I said, a boss, or some kind of a bossy person. um they seem to have their stuff together. They could be a teacher, they could be a preacher as well. So like I said, this could have been a marriage here, because the Emperor is right up underneath the three swords, okay, which represents a third party, of possibly a marriage, or either a long-term relationship. Here's the happy home, which is the overall card, okay. So for some of you, it was a marriage, okay. Somebody stepped out on a marriage. For some of you, it's just a long-term relationship. And for some of you single ones, it's where you jumped into doggone fast, and you hadn't recovered from a relationship of that you were in, or may still be in, okay. For some of you cancers, and for some of you cancers, this has happened, is happening to you, okay. And this is where the Emperor steps in and says, take a good look at what you're doing. Sometimes you have to honor your commitment. If you're committed to someone, or you said you want to be committed to someone, you have to honor that. And that's what the Emperor here is trying to say. All the major arcana cards are all spiritual cards, just as well as the Ace of Swords. That's a major arcana card, okay? So that means something, you know, really, somebody really felt something and they cut through the bullshit and they found out what was the deal. It was somebody else in the picture. And like I said, the Emperor is here to remind you to, for some of you cancers, is to stay focused. You know what I mean? Hold your shit together, get back in balance. If you're out of balance, they want you back in balance. Then you see how firm he looks, straight. He's firm. He takes no mess. He takes no for an answer. I mean, he don't take no for an answer. He's very stern, very straightforward, but fair. um and like I said, he's here to remind, being because this is a love relationship, that if you're in a marriage, you know, you got to remember your vows. You got to remember that you took these vows to be together, stay together. It's almost like, you know, it's not spiritual, it's more or less a religious type situation. There could have been religion issues between that came, you know, for some of you it could be religious issues. And like I said, the religious issues for some of you, because it's um, a love reading, is that somebody broke their vows. Somebody broke their vows here, and the Emperor is here to remind you what you did. Okay, you took a vow, you took oath. And for some of you that are just, you know, coupled off or maybe are engaged, same thing, here to remind you, you made a commitment. Okay, you swore or something, you know, you gave somebody a ring or something like that, and you swore, you made a commitment. But hey, look what happened. But he's here to remind you. Okay, you signed the contract. You the one said, okay, I do. You know, you or your partner, Cancer, said, I do. That's what the Emperor's here to display. And for some of you, they're trying to say, you know, pull yourself together as well and focus on your relationship or your marriage. Then I get the Page of Cups right underneath the doggone Page of Pentacles, which is an earth sign, okay? And we have the Emperor, who is in Aries, reminding us of our commitments, our committed that we did under God. You know, he's like a religious, a teacher, a preacher, a pastor, something of that nature, okay? And with the Page of Cups, it's like, to me, look, because it's on top, there are two, these, look, the page of Pentacles and the Page of Cups. It looks like two people here, were is very grown to be very immature with one another, or this is the second person, which is a Pisces, Cancer. Is probably you. This is probably you, because this is a water sign. It's water energy, or no, because it's a court card, so it's a person. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. You know what I mean? And this could be the person that you've done this to, or have to remind yourself who you dedicated yourself to in holy matrimony, or a commitment of some time, because they represent, you know, signing contracts and stuff like that. Being this relationship, all I could say is that it was a marriage, or some kind of agreement between two people to stay together and to be together. And it could have been a spiritual connection, contact, where you both said your vows spiritually and you both came under an agreement. No matter what, this is still reminding you, you made an agreement, you or your partner, to be together forever. But that vow was broken by somebody, either a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, or a earth sign, Virgo, Capricorn. What's the other one? Taurus? Well, yeah, Taurus. Okay. And you two started to act immature. Things started. Maybe that's what caused someone to look on the outside of their relationship. because two people here look like, because these are pages, they're younger, but they're older from what my guides are telling me. You are mature and are older in age, but you started acting like two little children together, fuss and fighting, tit for tat, stuff like that is what went on. But one was very kind of like a little sneaky, um about how they went about the situation. One was very emotional because of the cups. Pages also bring on messages too, messages maybe of some type of message that was carried through. um And with the Five of Pentacles, for some of y'all, it might have been the message to get the hell out of my life. Leave me alone. I'd rather be alone than be in a situation where there's three people involved. It could have been this is male or female, okay? And this is the earth sign. Again, we're talking about Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. Yeah. Okay, see the woman there with the baby. It was a family situation. It definitely was a commitment or a committed relationship, as far as a marriage or two people that been together for a long time. And there was some breakup because of a third party. Sounds like another reading I just done not too long ago. But somebody felt left out in the cold, or they just said, get the hell out of my life. I don't need you. I don't need your aggravation. I don't need to be hurt. um see what else I'm getting. It's sitting right up under this, so this may be the person that one of you found out about, whoever was doing the cheating, because it's underneath the swords of like, okay, here they go, I see. And this person may, for some of y'all, this is what I'm hearing, that you got somebody pregnant and you want to keep it a secret, for some of you cancers out there. Because why? You were in a committed relationship. You're married. So this person might feel left out now that you discovered they have a baby, or vice versa. It could be you doing this, cancer. You might feel left out now, alone, just you and the child that you have by somebody else's man or woman. You know what I'm trying to say. So you feel left out in the cold, but it's been exposed. Okay, for those are just different scenarios that I'm picking up here. Now we got the last card, which is the Fool. You see that? So out of this whole situation, Cancer, for some of you Cancers, male or female, that went through this situation, may just turn your back on the whole thing. Turn your back. Whoever did the wrong in this situation, male or female, Cancer, or your partner, somebody's gonna leave this relationship. There might be a divorce for some of you. Signing divorce papers, again, a contract, okay, for some of you. um Some of you are just going to take the chance, and just like I see here, where something was discovered, where maybe there was a pregnancy that came out of this uh extra relationship, somebody else on the side, and the person that it happened to here, which is the Fool, that's zero. Number zero is starting all over again, coming full circle, and taking your chances and starting a brand new. So some of you Cancers are leaving your partner or relationship or marriage because of this situation that took place, and I gave you several scenarios, and you're deciding to just move on forward and taking a chance on a new life or new journey, a brand new beginning. You are looking back though, and you're not paying attention to what's in front of you, because you don't give a damn no more. You really got hurt by this situation, or your partner did. Very, very, some very hurtful things two people acting like little children, childish, childish words exchanged between one another. Um, that could have been the reason or the cause of the breakup. At first, it was all good because that the overall energy was a couple of a commitment, a committed and getting along, and everything was pretty good. But and then for some of you cancers out there that this either happened to, or you had it happen, or you done this to someone else, somebody could actually be a fool or feel like they're a fool, and just may look back and try to make it work. But no, I don't feel that for a lot. I really don't. I feel a lot of you cancers are going to move on from this situation once, because you took a lot of time to cut through to the truth. Swords are of truth, finding out the truth, digging for the truth. That's what swords do. They're of truth, and you found out the truth about, possibly is what I'm getting, very much somebody else got pregnant out of their relationship or commitment to somebody else, and somebody walked away from either you cancer, or somebody walked away, or you walked away from somebody, depending on who you are and what situation and which cancer we're talking about, because we're talking about several cancers here, okay, with several different interpretations to try to reach out to as many as we can. Let me check here and see if I feel anything else. This person here, whatever happened, I feel like they went I don't think this person is involved in anymore either. I think they just took the child and just went out on their own. Maybe I'm hearing shelter, because either you cancer or your partner or this person you were fooling around with probably just went on to about their own business and had this child, and just took care of it on their own, not even worried about asking you for anything. Or for some of you might not even know that this person had a baby. Most of you do. Some of it is just a relationship with a family, and they just left, just like this your overall a happy home at first, the whole 9 yards, stable home, stable relationship, everybody getting along great, things, the four wands are evenly posted into the ground, so it was like a long stable relationship. That was the overall. But something went wrong here, and we went through the whole thing. If you want to read it again, just rewind. I'm just checking to see if I can pick up on some more messages. No, that's it. Somebody's walking away from a marriage or a long-term relationship due to somebody getting somebody pregnant, or somebody did this to you cancer, or you done this to somebody else, and it took some digging to find out, and you found out about these two lovers here, or second party that came into the relationship, and it was probably between a earth sign and a water sign. If not, it's in their natal chart somewhere. That's all I got for you, okay? It's, there's a walking away for a lot of you cancer. You're going to say, forget this shit. You really messed up, by getting somebody pregnant, or finding out about a pregnancy outside of a marriage or outside of a long-term relationship. Cancer. Ooh, I hope this car don't catch on fire. um and I just see a lot of you walking away, a lot of you cancers walking away from a long-term relationship, just starting all over again, ground zero. Some of you, it didn't have to be a committed relationship, but I am picking up on it heavily. It was for some people that were in a commitment or made a commitment towards one another to be together, took that step, and and made the relationship solid, worked hard together, but all of a sudden something went wrong. It was like two people started acting like childish with those pages there. Start doing childish and acting childish. The relationship could have been not built, you know. Maybe it was, you would both feel fooling each other, who knows, but it was real good as it first started out, but it ends up with a departure, with a leave, and somebody's starting all over again. Okay, somebody's leaving or going to be leaving this relationship. Okay, now what I'm doing with these three cards here, I got my shells over top of each for the energy, and my crystal here right in the middle here. Okay, Cancer, what I want you to do is, you Cancers, to close your eyes, and I want you to think of a question. It don't have to be real long because I'm not going to give that much time. Okay, think of a question that you want to ask your angel guides, and then I'm going to answer them. I want you to pick card one, card two, card three. Once you ask the question, you guys do that on your own, and then I'm giving you a little bit of time to do that. Go ahead, I'll wait. Close your eyes. Some of y'all ain't got your eyes closed. Close your eyes and ask the question, please, and make it short. Thank you. Okay, that should be enough. Okay. So you Cancers who asked your angel guide a question and chose card number one, your angel guides are saying choose a new direction. It's almost like that fool card where somebody's just, gonna choose a new direction. That's what the fool does, okay? Okay, for you Cancers, number two, whoever picked number two card that and asked a question for your angel guides, they are saying in a year from now. See that? In a year from now. Okay? And for our dear Cancers who asked a question to their angel guides and picked card number three, it says trust. So some of y'all gonna try to make it work, but you gotta trust it first. You gotta you gotta build up your trust again. If you want to, try to make this work. If you don't want this person to walk away from you, or if you don't want to walk away from this person, okay? All right, so we're done with that portion. Let me leave you with this, okay? And this is what you got here for your inspirational slash something that affirmation, okay? It says, I refuse to believe in lies. Oh boy. Okay. Lies led me to hear, and limitations to conflict, mm, and drama to a life that is difficult. So yeah, you Cancerins, this is verifying that you all are going through something. Just some of you, not all of you, but this will resonate to some of you, that you are going through a difficult time right now, or will be in the month of August. So, they're talking about lies and deceit here, which I already, you already heard what the angel guys told me to tell you, the messages. Somebody, you know, like we said with the Ace of Swords, they cut through it, they asked a lot of questions, that's coming to truth. And who they're just saying they found out, they know, and they're not going to listen to any lies. So, just like the angel card said, for some of you, it's good to just, instead of telling lies, tell the truth. Be truthful, be honest if you want to keep this relationship. For some of you Cancers, if you want to keep this, or your partner, either way, they're going to have to tell you the truth and be honest about it. For some of you, like I said, you're just going to walk away, take a new direction. You're going to choose a new direction because you just can't seem to stop lying, or they can't seem to stop lying to you. Some of you, it's going to take time. In about a year from now, say if you take a new, say if some of you take either, this is going to be either or, because if you look at it, it's two people, two angels, or I'm saying the two couples here, and for them to get back on the right path, if they want to keep this relationship or marriage, it's going to take about a year for it to heal, because that color there is for healing. If you look at the colors, that's two people healing in a relationship, or what, being as a relationship reading, that is healing. Two people that decide to stay together, but it's going to take about a year for this to heal up the way and get back to where it was, your overall that good household and stuff like that. Some of y'all, that's what I'm picking up. Okay, Cancer, thank you so much for viewing my channel. This is Simply Love signing out with love is all there. Wait a minute. Let me get somebody else to say it, because I say it all the time. Or you want to say it for them? You do? Bunny said she wants to say it for you. You sure? You sure you want to say it? You sure? Shaking her head, yeah. So go ahead. You go ahead and say it. Love is all there is, and love is all there ever be. I love you guys. Bye bye. Y'all take care.